What's going on, everybody out there? It's Ron Brown, LMT, the People's Fitness Professional, aka Soul Brother number one. Reporting for duty. We got Brother Minister Eric Muhammad in the building this evening, man. Glad to see you, brother. I've been gone for 3 weeks. I needed the break. I needed the mental break. Now I'm back. I'm back, and you're back. How are you feeling this evening?
Fine, sir. All praises due to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Now we're gonna go into supreme wisdom. I like to build on supreme wisdom because supreme wisdom is, for me, in the school of thought that I come up, or the culture that I come from, it's the foundation, right? Well, actually, the foundation is mathematics, right? Then the
Yes, sir.
supreme alphabets. But what opened my mind to who I am is that first degree and the 1 to 10. When I saw that first degree to one and then the 1 to 10, I said, yeah, that just gave me, it just gave me a power, and since I got that and studied my degrees and just kept building, I take that degree, hold on a second, say that, Lord, thumbnail, peace. All right. So anyway, like I was saying, that degree sparked me, and I take it literally. I take it literally. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just not something that's just to be saying. Just like when it says the Nation of Islam does everything right and exact. I'm trying my best. I strive to do everything right and exact. Sometimes I fall short, but the next day I get up, I try again. The next day I try to get better and better and better. So the lessons for me, supreme wisdom, 120 is the meat and potatoes. So let's get into the foundational understanding. All right. Before we get into the fifth degree, because I think we left off on the fourth degree, I think on the last video. All right. So the foundational understanding. What is the supreme wisdom, and why is it considered foundational to the FOI teachings?
The supreme wisdom is exactly what it is called. It's wisdom that is above any wisdom that exists. Now, I was watching the previous podcast, and the subject of the mother plane came up.
Mm-hmm.
And the bombing planes that are connected with the mother of planes. Now, it's called the mother plane because there are smaller planes that lodge inside of it, take off from it, and land into it. The best way to describe it is that it is a flying aircraft carrier. That's the best way to describe it. An aircraft carrier is exactly that. It is something that carries aircraft. In the white man's military, it's a boat, but it carries aircraft. So it's
Okay, can you
called.
repeat that again? Because
Yes, sir.
that right there, to me, makes more sense.
Yes, sir. It's a carrier of aircraft. It's a boat, but it carries aircraft. The white man doesn't have an aircraft that carries aircraft. The black man does. And that's why it's called the mother plane, because there are smaller planes nicknamed baby planes because they are carried, the smaller planes, by the larger plane. Smaller planes dock in it, take off from it, land back inside of it. Now, there's a reason I'm bringing this up. Here's the reason. As the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches in his lecture, Why I Teach Separation, there is so much confusion today, and the people's minds are clouded with that confusion, and that confusion makes it difficult to bring real truth to the people. And especially where real truth is concerned, especially the truth of the time. Now, let's take that back to what you said about that first degree.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the original man?
Mm-hmm.
The original man is the Asiatic black man.
Mm-hmm.
The maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
The maker of what? The owner of what? The very same thing he's the cream of.
Right.
That which he is the cream of, the planet Earth, is the same thing he's the maker of. He's the owner of. You jump forward from that into lesson number 1. The 1 to 10 is the student enrollment rules of Islam. The following questions must be answered 100% before submittance of student to said lesson number 1. You go to the born degree for God body. You go to question number 9 in lesson number 1. And it begins to talk about the universe towards the end of that degree. It says the universe is everything: sun, moon, and
So,
stars. They are planets. Planets are something grown
homemade from the beginning.
or made from the beginning.
Right.
My whole point in having taken this long to explain this is this. If we are the maker of the earth, why is it so difficult to believe in the mother plane? Like, I just don't get some of us. Like, really.
Can I answer that? Can I
Yes,
answer
sir.
that?
Yeah.
Because I see the earth.
Okay, the mother plane, just because I can't say I myself have ever seen the mother plane, and I couldn't care less. I don't give a damn if I never see it. It is what it is. There have been enough other people who have seen it that I'm not going to sit around doubting it because I have not personally seen it. My principles do not allow me to not believe in the mother plane. Some people's who claim that they have the same principles that I do somehow miss the fact that those principles do not allow you to disbelieve in it. Principle number 2 is to believe in divine revelation. Also, added to that principle is the hereafter. Many of us who claim Islam as taught by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, we reach a ceiling, we reach a wall, we reach a point at which our belief in divine revelation stops. I don't have any point at which my belief in divine revelation stops. Some of us stop at the messenger being physically alive. Some of us stop at the mother plane being a reality. You either believe in divine revelation or you don't. Now, many of us, as I said, will claim principle number 2, but when it gets to certain things, we'll be like, no. I don't have I don't know. I believe in the divine revelation, and I believe in the hereafter. The divine revelation, as Minister Kevin very, very aptly explained, it takes you to Ezekiel and his vision of that wheel. How do you not believe that? Like, I don't get it. It's divine revelation. And so we don't get to claim principle number 2, which is a principle of Islam. Therefore, we don't get to claim Islam and be floundering when it comes to principle number 2. Now, if we made the earth and the earth weighs 6 sextillion tons, a unit followed by 21 ciphers, a big old earth traveling through space at the speed of 67,000 miles per hour, with a gravitational pull on the moon that is so strong that it's pulling the moon around itself. You know how you have Ford F-150 and you got a hitch on the back of it and you're able to tow something, and you might be driving at 80 miles per hour and you're towing this very heavy whatever at that same speed, 80 miles per hour. Well, the earth is like has an invisible hitch and is pulling the moon around itself at the speed of approximately 2,300 miles per hour. I suspect the moon is pretty heavy. And it's pulling this heavy moon around itself at 2,300 miles per hour. It's really 2,200 and some change, but approximately 2,300 miles per hour as it itself is moving around the sun at the speed of approximately, it's really 66,000 and change, at approximately 67,000 miles per hour. Then I tell you there's a mother plane traveling at 9,000 miles per hour and it's only a mile, a half mile by a half mile square. And then all of a sudden we got all these doubts. I'm not the right person to be dealing with those doubts because I'll try to be nice for a minute or two and then you're going to get that damn smoke because silly is what it is. Like, come on, stop it. Quit playing. And the stuff I was reading in those comments, man, I'll rip your head off talking that crazy talk. Like, go somewhere with that.
What were they saying?
Just different things. And I don't read it when I'm on because if I'm reading it when I'm on, you're going to get it. And you're going to get it rough. You're going to get it rugged. You're going to get it raw. I'm not a diplomat. I'm a soldier. You're going to get it. So I don't read your silly comments when I'm on the podcast. But I was reading the disrespect that you accorded Minister Kevin Ali, the man who trained me in the ministry class of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I didn't like what I see, but it's all right. I know the game. It just is what it is. But to believe that whatever, the white man is seeing in the skies above his head, and the white man is telling you, this is not us. And this is not anybody else besides us, but it is from another nation. What the white man is saying, and it doesn't take rocket science to figure this out. The white man is telling you Russia doesn't have this technology. China doesn't have this technology. Nobody has this technology. Then he turns around and tells you this technology is from another nation. Well, what nation is he talking about? Well, you got to go to the supreme wisdom. What is the population of the original nation in the wilderness of North America and all over the planet Earth? The nation that this technology is from is the same nation that the technology that has something that weighs 6 sextillion tons, a unit followed by 21 ciphers traveling at the speed of 67,000 miles per hour and pulling something that is very heavy called moon around itself at 2,300 miles per hour. That's technology. The universe is not mystical. The universe is not magical. The universe is technology. It's engineering. It's mathematics. So if we can make the earth, grow it from the beginning, then what is so hard to believe that the scientists who have the best minds from among the original people can't make a plane that makes the white man's aeronautic technology look like kindergarten? Why is that? I just don't get it.
Well, that's not hard for me to believe, right? Because we are the inventors of a lot of things here in America, like the light filament and all that. You know what I mean? Toilet, like if you go down to black inventions, it's just crazy. You know what I mean?
And those were dead. Those were from black men and women dead. Dead. I'm talking about those were destroy powers for God body. Those were 85%ers. People who, didn't even know their origin in the world and worship that they know not what. Those were from uncivilized people. poison animal eaters. And that's what they did.
Oh,
Imagine the black man untouched by the white man, what that man can do. Again, it takes you right back to supreme wisdom. I want to bring it right back to what we're here to discuss. It takes you right back to supreme wisdom. Like, what do you think it's talking about when it says the maker? And it's referring to the earth. The maker. The earth didn't make itself. The sun didn't spark and produce the earth and other planets and stars and stuff. There's no Big Bang theory like the sun farted and the universe came into existence. That's stupid. The earth was created / made by the original people, who is Allah, the supreme being, the black man of Asia.
got you. All right, divine got a law. Did Allah say no white women, no pork? Yes, I understand that. What did he say? No almonds. Now, as far as the no, y'all going on a different conversation. I just want to address that. Now let's go into the next question. Is supreme wisdom meant to be taken literally? Well, you already answered that pretty much. Literally, symbolically, or both?
There are aspects of the supreme wisdom that deal in symbolism, but for the most part, the supreme wisdom should be taken literally. The supreme wisdom, I'll say this, the supreme wisdom unlocks the meaning of symbolisms. Like, you read the Bible, you read the Quran, and there are things in it that are symbolic. The supreme wisdom gives us the understanding of what that symbolism actually means.
Okay. Now I want to go into the next one. Why is the supreme wisdom not intended for the masses, but for disciplined minds?
The supreme wisdom is intended for the masses, the black masses, starting first with us, the black man here in the hills of North America. But, the best of intentions, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. It's intended for each and every one of us, but we won't accept it. We won't accept it. The white man has built his current technologically advanced world very much so on the supremacy of the wisdom that we won't accept. When they arrested the messenger in the 1940s, they got a lot of our material. And if you look at what took place in white society, white American society, there was an explosion of technological and scientific advancement from that point moving forward. It was an explosion because the white man is very different than we are. We'll get supreme wisdom and urinate all over it. We don't know how to respect it. The white man gets that wisdom and he doesn't look at it like some knuckleheads in the chat talking about mystical mythology and that's all talk and this and that and the other thing. The white man doesn't see it like that. You some silly Negro in a damn comment section and you talking trash. The white man is infinitely more wise than you. The white man is not as silly as you. And that's why the white man rules over you. Because when the white man sees Elijah, he looks at Elijah. When the white man hears Elijah, he listens to Elijah. Wherever Elijah says go, the white man goes. And where Elijah says stay from, the white man stays from. Because the white man is infinitely more wise and intelligent than a silly Negro who will not accept principle number 2 of the 5 principles of Islam. So the white man has wealth, the white man has power, the white man has science and technological advancement, and a Negro has silly comments in the comment section.
All right. Now, why did Master Farad Muhammad Well, oh, wait. What separates supreme wisdom from traditional religious scriptures?
That's a beautiful question. What separates supreme wisdom from traditional religious scriptures is supreme wisdom brings you face to face with the God who raised the prophets and revealed the scriptures that those prophets brought. Traditional scriptures teach the coming of God. Supreme wisdom teaches the presence of God. After supreme wisdom, there's nothing left to teach about God because you're brought face to face with God.
That was great. All right, all
All
right.
praises due to Allah for the most Muhammad.
Drop the bomb on that one. All right, now, what did Master Farad Muhammad introduce before we go into this question? So I'm watching a brother online going off about what's said about the Master Farad Muhammad and you know his connection to the Moorish Science Temple and how that's not true. The messenger said that he never was a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. He's showing different pictures and things like that. Now, as far as that is concerned, what do you know anything about that? About whether Master Farad Muhammad or Honorable Elijah Muhammad said anything about being a part of the nation, the MSTFA, the Moorish Science Temple of America, anything on that?
All right.
But you know that's still going on right now.
Brother,
People won't let it go.
trust me, is
It's like, what does it matter though? You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't even. Why does it matter? You get what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah.
well, it matters because it matters. You know, people have to say what they have to say about Master Farad Muhammad because they have no choice but to say it. At the end of the day, what Master Farad Muhammad did, who Master Farad Muhammad is, compels those who say the things that they say about him to say those things about him. His relevance is what it is.
That's what it is.
I look at all these videos, I listen to all of these claims, I read all of these claims. Nobody has seen Master Farad Muhammad since 1934. It's almost 2034. 8 more years, it'll be 2034. It's nearly 100 years after him. And here you are with Master Farad Muhammad living in your mind rent free. Your actions with respect to him, your words with respect to him are proof that he is exactly what we say he is. What are you still talking about him for? I mean, at the end of the day, what are you still running your mouth about Master Farad Muhammad for? Because you have no choice. Because his power, his influence, his whatever is what it is. So you got to talk about it. What choice do you have? All right. Now, Master Farad Muhammad. Everybody wants to talk about Master Farad Muhammad, a man they never met. They do not know. And all they do is speculate about. Everybody talking about Master Farad Muhammad is speculating. You didn't meet that man. You never knew that man. You don't know that man. You're running your mouth about that man. God body, the way we would explain that, we would say you're doing the wisdom before you do the knowledge. And for most of you, the reason you're doing the wisdom before doing the knowledge is because you had no ability to do the knowledge. You weren't there. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad was there. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad spent 3 years and 4 months with this man night and day.
Mhm.
So, what do I know about Master Farad Muhammad? Not a single thing. What does the most honorable Elijah Muhammad know about Master Farad Muhammad? A great many things. I don't represent me. I represent the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. What I teach of Master Farad Muhammad is what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad knows about Master Farad Muhammad. Everybody else, you just running your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about. You're speculating. And you're repeating speculations that were speculated decades ago and acting like you came up with some new wisdom. The messenger was asked about Master Farad Muhammad being a follower of Noble Drew Ali or Marcus Garvey. And the messenger said, no, he was not a follower of Marcus Garvey or Noble Drew Ali. He's not a follower of anyone. The messenger made that very plain. Now, who is more qualified to answer that question? The most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who spent 3 years and 4 months with this man, night and day, or some, I don't want to use the word that I would use
Who wasn't there?
instead of on the podcast, or some blankety blank blank running their cotton picking mouth based on some other blankety blank blank running their damn mouth. Man, miss me with that. If you don't want to accept what we teach about Master Farad Muhammad or the messenger, that's fine. We write you off. We keep moving. You'll soon be dead. We'll be all right.
Okay. All right. So now, what did Master Farad Muhammad introduce? Why did Master Farad Muhammad introduce supreme wisdom in question and answer form? That's an easy answer, but I want to hear from you.
Well, when you are teaching a student, whatever you are teaching that student, you test the student to see how well the student has mastered what you have taught the student. In the case of Master Farad Muhammad and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, Master Farad Muhammad was preparing the most honorable Elijah Muhammad to take his place among us as the leader, the teacher, and the guide. He was preparing him to spend the next 40 years leading us, teaching us, guiding us, and preparing us to be members of the new civilization that he is going to be the ruler of. He meaning Master Farad Muhammad. You don't go from being a blind, deaf, and dumb, poison animal eating slave to mental death and power to being the member of a high civilization. You got to be prepared. All right. You got to be prepared. And so the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was preparing us to live in the new society, the new world, the new civilization that Master Farad Muhammad is going to establish. That's why he had to test him to verify his readiness to take on this job, for lack of a better word.
Oh man. Oh man. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Had to test him to verify him to do the job he was set out to do. Now, man. Oh man. I have so many questions on that. All right. So the messenger studied with Master Farad Muhammad for 3.5 years. Pardon me.
We say 3.5, but it was actually 3 years and 4 months.
3 years and 4 months. From what I'm hearing, night and day.
Night and day.
For 3 years and 4 months. Man, That I mean, and in college, you don't even get that in
That's
college.
right. That's right.
That's
Talk about cramming.
like, that's like 7 years right there
Yes, sir.
because you got to double it, right?
You at least.
At least,
At least.
at least. What other? Because oh man, all right. So what other tools was he given? Do you know?
When you
Like
say
for studying, being able to articulate himself well enough to galvanize people like he did.
the type of tools that you're talking about, you either have or you don't have them. You're born with them.
Charisma.
You're born with that. You know what I mean? And there are things that you are born with that will only become manifest when you start doing the things you were born for. Think about what I just said. There are things that you are born with, qualities, characteristics that until you take on the work, mission, whatever word you want to use, that you were born for, those things that you were born with won't be manifest. So Master Farad Muhammad wasn't looking for just anybody. He was looking for someone made of a particular material, and he saw that material in the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. So he knew that what he was going to prepare the most honorable Elijah Muhammad to do, he was the right material to do it. He could have chosen someone else, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm. And he was right.
He absolutely was right.
And that's interesting right there. So let's go on to the next one because this is like, so I can go on and on just with that. Now, what is the purpose of repetition and memorization in supreme wisdom?
Well, the only way to learn is through repetition. That's is cybernetics is repetition. You know, for those of us who don't know what cybernetics is, I read a book 40 some odd years ago called Psycho-Cybernetics. And it talks about the process of learning. Your subconscious mind is where you do your learning. Mm-hmm. You consciously attempt or try something. And based on error, you don't try that again. Then you try it another way. So trial and error. Once you successfully do something, then your subconscious mind files that as the way to do it. And then after that, you then continue to do it without consciously trying and error and all of that type of thing. That's when it becomes learned. Until it becomes subconscious, you really haven't learned it. When you have only read something one time, you haven't really read it. You got to read it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. If you hear something only one time, you listen to a lecture of the messenger, but you only listen to it one time. You didn't really hear what he said. You got to listen to it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Now, in the martial arts world, Brother Lieutenant Calvin told me this. It is said that Bruce Lee said he would rather do one move 1,000 times than to do 1,000 moves one time.
Right.
That's the value of repetition.
Mm-hmm. For sure, indeed. Now, this is, you said cybernetics.
Yes, sir. Cybernetics.
Got you. Why is secrecy and gradual revelation important in these teachings?
Well, it's not really an issue at this point. It has been an issue for the past 6,000 years. See, again, the theology of time, not the theology of righteousness, the theology of this, that, the other thing, the theology of time. What does time have to do with all of this theological teaching that all of the prophets have done for the past 6,000 years. The white man was given 6,000 years to rule. The secrecy involved in the wisdom of the prophets, which is different than the wisdom of gods. The wisdom of gods is supreme. The wisdom of prophets is high wisdom, but it's not supreme. You're not face to face with God. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. All praise is due to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And so what had to be kept a secret is the white man's true identity. That had to be kept a secret. We described that with the words, the black man was put to sleep in order to allow the white man to rule. Sleep to what? The true identity of the white man. The white man had to be given his time. He had to be given his, his place. And so he has ruled us for 6,000 years. But again, the theology of what? Time. The supreme wisdom tell us the exact date of the expiration of the devil's civilization. Time expired in 1914.
Mm-hmm.
Time expired in 1914. So you don't teach the wisdom post 1914 that you taught pre-1914. The wisdom you teach post-1914 is supreme. That wisdom was not supposed to be taught pre-1914. It was to remain a secret.
Okay. All right. Check. All right. Why does supreme wisdom emphasize mathematics as the foundation of reality?
Woo, that's another one right there. I love that one. We are taught that Islam is mathematics. But again, when you're teaching us that Islam is mathematics, it just goes in one ear and out the other. That's why someone can say, well, what's the name of your nation? And we say Islam. And then you look at us like we stupid because you thinking, no, that's the name of your religion. I know what the hell I'm saying, and I know why the hell I said it. I said my nation is, the name of it is Islam, because that's what the hell it is. Period. Quit asking. Quit challenging. It is what it is. Islam is not a religion in the first doggone place. Islam is mathematics. But when you say Islam, all people can think of is praying, reading the Quran, and fasting, and maybe selling some newspapers and some bean pies. Mm-hmm. Islam, there's an Arabic word for Islam. I can't pronounce it because I was born deaf, dumb, and blind in America, but it's like ILM. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's science. Islam is science. When you study botany, when you study biology, when you study physics, when you study anything in science, guess what you're studying, genius? You're studying Islam, because Islam is science. When you're studying trigonometry, when you're studying algebra, when you're studying calculus, guess what you're studying, genius? You're studying Islam, because Islam is mathematics. So, stop it already. Come on.
Because people perceive things the way they perceive it.
Exactly.
And they can't take themselves out of their own box.
Right.
You know what I mean? To see someone else's perspective.
Right. When I'm talking about Islam, your typical average person thinks I'm talking about bean pies, bow ties, and doggone newspapers and prayer rugs. When I'm talking about Islam, I'm talking about any number of things. Any number of things. I don't box Islam into prayer and fasting.
Mhm.
Although prayer and fasting are two of the five basic principles, I tell you what, if you're praying and you're fasting and you're studying calculus, you're going to be a better student of calculus than someone eating pig feet and drinking Red Bull. You understand what I'm saying? Because the mind and the body scientifically go together, work together. You can't poison the body and think that's not going to affect your ability to develop the mind. All praise is due to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Indeed. What does everything is mathematical truly mean in the NOI's understanding?
Well, I can't speak for the NOI's understanding,
Right,
because we all hear alike, but we don't all see alike.
right.
But mathematics is the base and the foundation of everything in the universe. Like if you listen to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's Theology of Time lecture on July the 2nd, he goes very, very deep into how important mathematics is. He starts dealing with the number one. He starts dealing with the science of the number six. Minister Kevin gave a beautiful lecture dealing with that here some few months ago. It's the foundation of everything. Mathematics.
Indeed, indeed. Now, what does supreme wisdom define? How does supreme wisdom define law, order, and justice?
Mm. How does supreme wisdom define law, order, and justice? Again, I can't say, well, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said the definition of law, order, and justice is, and then recite what he said. But what I can say is the definition of law, order, and justice is Islam. Islam is universal, not religious. Islam is universal. It's science. It's mathematics. It's law. It's government. It's everything. There is nothing that is something that isn't Islam. Islam is just the highest form of it.
How does supreme wisdom redefine the concept of God? I mean, that seems to be it. I figured that was
That's
easy.
beautiful.
That's an
That's
easy one.
beautiful. I like that. How does supreme wisdom?
How does supreme wisdom redefine the concept of God?
Oh, that's perfect.
Without supreme wisdom concept of God, I wouldn't be me.
There you go. The way that supreme wisdom means to do over defines the concept of God. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Yaqub, an original black man who was a scientist by the name of Yaqub, born 20 miles outside the holy city Mecca in the year 8400, taught his followers how to teach that God is a spirit. How to do it. He told them, ask them about the first God in the beginning. Ask him about his whereabouts. Another one of the smart mouth comments that I read earlier, where is Elijah Muhammad? Well, where you want to ask about, got that same Yaqub mentality. You want to ask about the whereabouts of Allah. He said, and he knew that they wouldn't be able to answer that question. And that prepared the way for the establishment of the mystery God concept. And so the messenger said, we know that all these things that we see, you understand what I'm saying? That there was a God in the beginning that created all these things that we see, but we know he does not exist today. But the person of God, which means, now, what do I mean when I say which means? What is said is one thing. What is meant is another thing. I don't mean it's something opposite. If I say, yo, you better go ahead, I'm going to break you off something. What I said is one thing, but what I mean is something else. Meaning it's not the same thing as I said, not that it's opposite of what I said, but that what I mean is different than what I said, because I'm saying you better go ahead. Well, that's not going to cause you no pain. But what I mean is going to bring you some pain. You see what I'm saying? Right. So what is said is the person of God. What is meant by those words is the person who is God. Okay. But the person who is God continues on in his people. And so how supreme wisdom redefines the concept of God is it does over the concept of God that comes from Yakub's teaching as being a formless spirit. It redoes that and brings it back to the concept of God being a man, which was something already known until the moon was deported from the earth. This knowledge has only been kept secret for 66 trillion years.
Okay.
And it was because of the scientists who blew the earth in two. So it was like, okay, enough of that. Y'all too smart for your own good. So that knowledge was withheld until the proper time, and the proper time is now.
All right, now we have a question from Facebook. Oh man. All right, here we go again. This has got to always come up. I guess it's gonna always come up. Where did the original? Oh no, I'm not even going with that. We're not even gonna ask that question. I don't even want to go with that question. Nah, we're not doing that. All right, we're not doing that. Next, okay. What does it mean when supreme wisdom states? You already went through that. How does this teaching challenge traditional Christianity and Islam?
Both traditional Islam and Christianity stress the mystery of God, meaning that God is something other than a human being. Everything else they represent can be traced back to that core belief, that core concept, that God is something other than material. And that even though he is something other than a material being, he has all of this interest in the affairs of material beings. That is nonsensical. Once you establish as the core to a particular belief system something that is nonsensical, then now you can build all kinds of nonsense on top of it. The first thing that was drilled in my head by Minister Keith Muhammad is that everything is for real. God is a man. There is no mystery God. Like, he would say that to me on a constant and consistent basis. I might have done something he didn't like. And he say, ain't no mystery God. God is a man. Everything is for real, And I'd be trying to figure out, well, I've already accepted that the Nation of Islam's teaching is true and that God is a man. Like, why are you coming at me like that? But see, it's easy to think you have accepted something, but your actions are going to bear witness you haven't really accepted it. Case in point.
Ah, man, yo.
Case in point. Case in point. We need some place to meet. We don't have no place to meet. So get a damn place to meet. What's the problem? Mm-hmm. We gonna sit around and not meet because we don't have no place to meet? See, you believe in a mystery God. You got a job to do. You need something in order to do it or some place to do it, but you acting like somehow mysteriously it's gonna get done. No, God is a man. There is no mystery God. If you're going to have a place to meet, you gotta get a place to meet. Period. Well, I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I can't. Look in the FOI manual and what it says about the word can't. Can't never accomplish nothing. Quit telling me what you can't do. Start telling me what you can do. God is a man. Why would you tell me you're God and then tell me what you can't do? Then you ain't God.
It's simple, brother.
I mean, it's just that simple. Now, it's no problem if you have to struggle with coming up with a means by which to do it. The Quran says man is created to struggle. But to adopt the position, I can't. Yes, you can. Mm-hmm. Damn, I hate to sound like Obama, but yes, you can. Like, just do it. God is a man means stop canting and can't, and just do it. Make it happen. Find the way. Do it.
All right. Now, why is self-knowledge oh well, you already went through that. Okay. Is supreme wisdom teaching divinity or responsibility, to piggyback off what you just said?
Is supreme wisdom divinity?
Teaching divinity or
teaching divinity
or responsibility?
Both. Divinity is responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah, it's teaching both. I mean, the divine wisdom imposes a responsibility on the recipient. To whom much is given, what? Much is required.
Right.
If a wisdom is supreme and it's given, it's not just much given, it's the most given. And so since it's the most given, then it requires the most responsibility.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight right there.
Oh, yes, sir. That's why we have in the supreme wisdom, what is the duty of the civilized person? Then you got question that says, and if the civilized person does not perform their duty, what must be done? Then you have what is the prescribed law of Islam of said person of that ability.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the supremacy of this wisdom, failure to do the duty that is imposed by possessing such wisdom requires a punishment. Has no joke.
Check. All right, before we cut out, well, we kind of went over that already. I'm just like repeating the same questions, kind of. Well, you just explaining thoroughly. How does supreme wisdom address the loss of identity among Black people? This is a great question for those who are in the chat and are Moors and stuff like that. So how does supreme wisdom address the loss of identity among Black people?
again, we all hear alike, but don't all see alike. But that would take me to a lecture that the messenger gave in 1958 in the city where I was born and raised, and that would be Newark, New Jersey. That's one of the moves that I've been doing 1,000 times, as opposed to one of the 1,000 moves that I might do just one time. I've been listening to that lecture over and over and over and over and over again. And I think I landed on something. The messenger was talking about black. Now, we're dealing with identity, okay? The messenger was talking about black, and he said some of us don't like to be called black. And all of the time that I have ever listened to that same lecture over the years, I automatically assumed he was talking about the 85% and how they would rather be called colored, or rather they would be called Negro or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as he said that, he started talking about the presence at that lecture of Garveyites and Moors. I had no idea that the term black was considered a chattel term.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons I didn't have any idea that the term black was considered a chattel term is the utter ridiculousness of considering it that.
Mm-hmm.
You hear what I just said?
Yes, sir.
The utter and complete absurdity of considering black to be a chattel term. You don't even have to be a rocket scientist to know that's garbage. Bottom line, what did we call ourselves in ancient Egypt when the white man was crawling on his all fours, living in the caves of Europe, when the black man was supreme throughout the earth? You know what we called ourselves? Black. That's what we called ourselves. And it's like, how in God's name could you miss that? Kemet, Kam. It means black. We called ourselves black. We called our land the land of the blacks. Like, stop it already. And this was at a time when we were not chattel. So the messenger said, some of us don't like to be called black, but I'm talking about the black that has not been touched by a white man's civilization, meaning I'm talking about the original black. I'm not talking about the black that has been subjugated by the white man. Now I'm adding my own words now. The black that has been subjugated by the white man. The black man was put to sleep to allow the white man to rule. So the term black, the context of it, the connotation of it changed, of course,
Mm-hmm.
because the position of black changed from top to bottom. So, of course, the concept of black is going to change with the position of black changing. But black began as supreme. The Holy Quranic Bible is made by the original people, who is Allah,
Mm-hmm.
the supreme being, the black man of Asia.
Mm-hmm.
So supreme wisdom gives us that identity back. It restores to us our identity. We are members of the great Asian black nation, and of the tribe of Shabazz. That's how the messenger puts it. The great Asian, meaning the whole planet Earth, the great Asian black nation. He says to us that before Yaqub, we were all alike, especially color. You don't get these different colors until the grafting process of the Caucasian devil. We were all alike, especially in our color. The great Asian black nation and of the tribe of Shabazz.
On that note, thank you for coming out this evening. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for showing up this evening in the chat. I'm back. I had to take a break. I had to revamp what's going on this page, man. And don't forget to check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on all the major platforms, etc. Thank you again, Minister Eric Muhammad, for building with NYP Talk Show this evening. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.